room. I know that last set of slides was probably a little bit boring. It was very like school lesson approach to learning about the 5 ways rentals make you money, but they're kind of technical, formulaic, and all that stuff. And now we're done with that, right? And quite honestly, yeah, it's cool that this boring property is gonna, by means of a bunch of different little returns, gonna get you 40% total ROI per year, cash flow and debt pay down and tax savings and appreciation. But the real money in deals like this, the big money, they can be made by investing passively. But the big money is made in the intangibles. They're really good. My favorite way, the reason that I've made as much success out of this real estate investment business as I have is because of the intangibles. It's the business component of it. It's the execution dependent pieces of this industry. The things that allow you to win bigger than the other people doing it if you do them better than the others. You have the opportunity to do things better. It's something you can't do with stocks, right? You buy better and sell better, but you can't operate your business when you own the stock. You can just look at it in your portfolio and dump it if you don't want it. Whereas in real estate, you can really nail it. You can really nail it with control of the asset. You can really nail it with unique assets, purchasing properties that perform maybe better than the next one because they're slightly different. You can purchase with mispricing. This is probably the biggest one. You can buy something at a discount from market value, at a discount of what it's worth today. You can manipulate the tax advantages of a property. You have control over the way you get tax write-offs from your rental property. It's kind of interesting. And you can get a lot of debt on them. And you can use debt to make tax-free money. You can play around with your equity. Real estate allows you to leverage more than any other asset class does. You can get a loan for 80% of your property's value. And then you can buy it cash and refinance later on for 80% of its market value. Whereas with a stock, you can't do that. You have to play with a margin line. 50% is the most they'll give you, and it might get called if your portfolio dips too much. So you have a lot of ways to make big money in real estate, not just the 4 or 5 ways that you make small or medium-sized money in real estate. And the first one's control. Control's not my favorite per se, but it's something I like to have when I invest. I like to be the one that creates the results of my efforts and not really allow somebody else to be 100% responsible for it. I at least want to oversee the decisions. And here's an example. Here's a big old fourplex, 8,000 square feet that we got for a nice price, $250,000, well below market value several months ago. And this fourplex had every problem in the book happen as soon as we bought it, of course. Since we bought it for cheap, well, hell, we're willing to spend money on it. But we got this first quote from our property management company. And being a newer property management company, we haven't used many times before because we haven't gotten into this market until just recently. And the first property we own there, we don't understand their mechanics and how much things cost and their process of getting things quoted. So they sent us this quote with the email that says the furnace is out, right? We didn't really have forewarning. We just got a $4,500 quote for a furnace one morning. I think I was on vacation too, and I looked on my phone like in the afternoon. I was like, oh shit, we got a big old furnace replacement on this thing. And the first thing I think is, well, I usually pay $1,800 for furnaces, maybe $2,000 for a big 2,000 square foot townhouse like this, but I'm not paying $4,500 for a furnace. What the hell is going on here? And ironically, no one's gonna look at the line items but you. Right? Sometimes they will. I'm going to give people credit, but you have the ability to say, let me evaluate the costs here and see why this is not what I expected it to be, or why it could be, how it could be better. And I see this furnace for $2,700 and go, that's kind of expensive already. And then I see an Ecobee Light Pro Smart thermostat, $534. First of all, what the hell does an Ecobee thermostat cost is the first thing I thought. And it's $129. And then on top of that, you're getting a $400 labor charge. I've installed one of those Nest thermostats in my house. It's not $400 worth of labor. And by the way, I didn't get a Nest thermostat until I broke millionaire status. So I'm not putting smart thermostats in my rental units at $500 a pop. And then you see all these little additional fees for hooking up all the lines and stuff like that. And then you see a charge for a no quibble guarantee. So I'm getting billed for them to not haggle with me. And then a no lemon guarantee, which manufacturer probably warranties their products, right? And then 5 years of tune-ups. And then there's already a 5-year parts and labors manufacturer warranty here for $0, right? So why am I getting a no lemon guarantee on top of that. Anyways, bunch of nonsense that came with this quote, right? And we went back and said, hey, remove this stuff and do what you can, and it still came back at $3,300. Nowhere near good enough. It should be about half of that, right? So we told our management company, go get a different estimate. And if you aren't willing to hunt for contractors, we will. And they were willing. Their service level is great, and they got a different estimate and said, well, Ace, this quote came in higher than the first one. I don't know why they were trying to sell us off it, or if they just didn't notice it and read all the the scope of work. But this quote includes a 2-ton AC system. So you take a look at this and you go, well, you're removing all the stuff and disposing of it. You are replacing with a 2-ton 14-SEER AC unit plus all the labor that comes with it. You're getting a furnace with that. So an 80%, 80,000 BTU natural gas furnace, which is what we were quoted on before. You're getting a new thermostat, probably not the Ecobee, but one that would maybe cost us $150 or $200 to get installed, a basic thermostat. Let's see, getting all the setup done. Oh, and there's a warranty on it as well for $4,500. I've never seen an AC and furnace done for this cheap. So we ended up saving $3,000 on a furnace and getting an AC for who knows how much cheaper we would have got it from the previous contractor. These guys might have charged us $7,000, $8,000 for that AC unit, right? $10,000, $12,000 quote. Got it for less than half the price. And those ACs were old. We knew they were coming too. This is what I mean by control.